All right, here we are again. Today we're going to do a second helicopter tutorial. I'm gonna try and make this one a little bit faster. I realized first beginner one is kind of long, so I'm gonna build a helicopter really quick, and we're gonna go through and put all the stuff on it we need to do to make it a helicopter. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up and build a frame real quick since we kind of went over that in the first one. Be right back. All right. So we have made base of our helicopter. We might change a few things here and there as we go, but let's start adding in the systems we need to add. So we're going to do looks like a duck, quack quack. It's a bird flying a bird, flying a bird. It's a bird in a bird suit. It's a bird in a bird, birdception, birdception. Okay. First, we're going to do. We have all this room here, right? We're going to remove this panel here. Get all that out of there so we can see what the heck we're doing. Alright, so we have this whole set. We have all this room to work with here. It's perfect. I'm going to go... We're going to go with a taller mast. So we're going to go with this guy. We're going to set that right there. Alright, kind of in the middle. We might have moved it back a little bit. It might end up here. We basically have these three positions. We could move that forward, so we could essentially put there. We're going to try right there, though. I do this all by feel, usually. Forces, so our center of mass is right there. That's not too bad. Let's try moving it back one right there. So go right there. All right. We're going to get our helicopter engine. We're going to put this guy up here, like that. We're going to do a 4-blade this time. The goal is to get this thing to not take off when we turn that on. I'll show you what I mean here. Alright, so that we're gonna get some not gonna be big enough for straight helicopter blades, is it? No. So there's a few ways you can make longer helicopter blades than just like this, right? Obviously, I mean that's way too small. So we need these to be a little bit longer. So right about there looks good. Right, that looks about right. So you can either use modular wings, right? Those will work. So we're gonna have a bunch of modular wings on here. Okay. We can do it this way, right? The other way we can do it is, and this, I mean, that looks pretty clean, right? The other way we can do it is with these guys, upside down spoilers, right? So either way works. They both do create lift, so they both will work about the same. You can also use these spoilers as well. Do it that way. So we use those guys as well if we want to use those guys as well. All systems do work. I think I'm going to go with the wings. Personally, I have definitely used the other methods before, but we're going to go with the wings method this time. So we're going to go boom. That goes the right way. Just like that. Boom. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay. So there's our rotors, right? So this guy here, I'm going to set him to a speed of 0. speed is 0. No inputs. Alright, and we're going to go add a tail rotor on this guy. Tail rotor, we're going to put kind of behind back, just like that. And we're going to do same thing. We're doing some oars. So we're going to go find the oars. I found a way to make this look a little bit better. That's going to crash. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make this a little bit better. We're going to add some steering hinges onto this. We're going to get rid of one wing. One wing on each one. That will make it so things don't collide. Don't want collisions. Alright, so get this to look a little bit better. We'll add a steering hinge on this. That goes there. Alright, so this guy we want to take off our 10. Take off your inputs. Speed of 10. Alright. So back behind this driver's seat, we're going to put it in. La 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 la. Accumulator. Driver's seat. You know what I mean, pilot seat. Get an accumulator in here. 0, 1, scale. Oh, let's make it 0.3. We're going to go toggle. Our A button's going to do, actually, down button's going to be our start there. So that's going to go there and there. All right. Now expect. So these are going backwards. Not a big deal. Switch them around. Oh, exciting. Okay, so we don't want that happening. Actually, we want to do this too. We're going to put in, we've got, I'll just be as flat as possible. Okay. Throw some gyros around here. Let's throw some gyros around. Put all these at strength 5 for now. Yep, perfect. Okay, I love that. Put that there, that there. All right, so our next thing we're going to do is pull up a hover system I have made previously. That's our cycle logic. Here's our rotor hover logic. So this right here is how we're going to get this thing to fly and hover. Really stupid simple. Everything's already committed. It's in there, so we just do that. And we're going to pop this in. Just like that. goes into accumulator, goes into your who's its guys. There we go. This one's set up for the A button, but you can switch the keybinds. Yeah. So the way this works is if you hit the A button, there's like on-off switch. Let me lay this out a little bit more sensible for you guys. Speed sensor has to be in that direction. Every other gate does not matter. It can go however we need it to go. So XOR gates and NOR gates act as on-off switches, right? So right now this always puts an always on signal, right? That's going into our arithmetic block, which is a negative 8, because that's going into there. So that makes that go down slowly. If we go to -1, it'll go down faster. So the less you have here in your constant, the slower that will go down. The XOR logic gate goes into our AND gate and our accumulator. AND gate goes into our I do have this up. Forget how it works, but I do have it up in the workshop. So if you want to download that, you can go there and you can download it on there. This makes it easy to do a complete auto hover. Yeah, it works really well actually. I can show you in another build here in a minute. Let me make sure this works. Alright, works there. You can see it turn on, you can see it going down there, and it goes down and everything shuts off. Okay, so that works. Let's save this build real quick and I'll go over the auto hover system with you guys here in a second. Save. Alright, so the auto hover, where is that other build at? It is right here. Alright, so this is our auto hover system. Used it in the MH53. So accumulator goes into your rotor. Okay. You have an OR gate or a NOR gate that goes into an arithmetic block. Then you have your here's your AND speed sensor and AND gates, right? Your XOR gate goes into your accumulator and an AND gate. Okay, you need this AND gate to go into your main source of lift. This is going to be like your collective, right? That's once we get the helicopter heavy enough, this won't lift off unless you put your collective, which is going to be your tail propellers. Your speed sensor is going to keep your hover. Okay, so if I click A, see the AND gate there turns on, XOR gate turns on, NOR gate turns off, the accumulator powers up, right? The NOR gate goes into the accumulator, which makes it always want to reset unless it's not receiving a signal. Once we have the rotor spinning, increase collective. This one's actually RB and LB. And then you can sit there, you can see we can hover. It'll hover in place. It'll go down, hover, down, right? So that's how that works. Don't worry about the thruster. That's a whole nother system. Turn off the A, that's how that goes, okay? So that is how our auto hover goes. So back to this build. Same thing, right? We need to add some weight to this, though, to make it heavier so that it will not want to take off on us. So we're going to move all these to the center. This thing needs more weight. Currently too light. So I know we have a space up there we can fill in. Don't be afraid to add weight to some of your builds if it needs it. Weight can definitely help a lot. We'll add that much. See what happens here. Alright, is that going to make it take off? What are we there? How are we doing? Okay, we still want to. Okay, still want to add a little bit more weight there. We kind of want to put this back a little bit too, but you know what? We're gonna keep it there. We'll just balance it out with some weight. Let's add 2 more. How's that looking? Still a little light. Still a little light. How's that looking? I mean, we're getting somewhere. Let's increase our gyros. Put these all the way up to 10. And wait until we don't take off anymore. So we do not want to take off right now. We don't want any real lift yet until we add in some of our... Actually, let's add those in now. So we want these guys. These are going to be our main source of lift. Yep, these guys here are going to be our main source of lift. 4 of them in. Actually, let's move all these guys down. There, like that. There we go. So that'll be our main source of lift, and we can do the rest of the controls there. Don't remember if I tie those into anything. Do I tie these into anything? I don't remember. Let's pull out our other weird build. What are these tied into? These are tied into the AND gate and the seat. So our AND gate ties into all of these guys as well. So we want to find the AND gate. AND gate also ties into these guys. Okay. Does AND gate tie into anything else? Just those ones? Just those. Okay. Okay, we can delete that. So the AND gate, what that does, having those tied into the AND gate, it'll allow them to automatically turn on and off. Well, yeah, we'll make it automatically turn on and off. Let's see what our weight does now. I think we have that upside down. So let's flip these. Let everything spin up a little bit. Are we too heavy? Yeah, I got those backwards still. Yeah, okay. So this. We are wobbly. Holy cow, are we wobbly. modular wings. That might be too much lift there. And we're going to go with the spoilers. Spoilers are what I've used on my all pretty much like every other of my builds. So don't be afraid to use these. They work perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. You can see we need a little more work there, but we're getting the system down. Helicopters take a minute to get right, so don't be afraid if this does happen to you. It's not a big deal, right? Not a big deal. But this is your basic system right here. So let's keep going on and add some controls in and some more dampening and everything else. So for our dampening, we use these little fellas, right? Same thing as our gyro stabilizers. They help dampen the effects of everything. Stabilizers will keep you mostly level. These guys, if you set to a strength of 10, will help dampen any load or anything else like that, right? Let's see where we're at now. So he still wants to dance around, right? Not as bad, though. Alright, let's add some weight to the nose here. Add some weight to the nose. Hello, Reese. How you doing? Go. Huh? Weight on the nose. This thing is very... Alright, we're going to move these back one block, and hopefully we don't. Still be good. Yes, it's still being weird. Forward one block. Let's see if we move everything forward. 2 blocks there. See what that looks like. Doesn't like it. Okay, so we still need more weight. Move those up. Put some more weight down here. Balancing it out. This might be too much weight. Seems to be happiest right in that area. You can hear the tail rotors working, keeping this up. We're going to remove this. We're going to go with the rotating servo. Like that. And we're just going to move it down one. Yeah, we're just going to go blink like that. This might give a little bit better strength. Find out here in a second. Doesn't really work that well, does it? Wow. All right. Interesting. We're still a little wobbly. It's like we're catching a little bit here every once in a while. And we are rotating a little bit. So key thing I remember about helicopters is they're not, when you get more advanced like this, they're not that easy to build. Really not. Set our controls in real quick. So RB, LB, we're gonna make that all. We'll put that at 8. Let's get our also put that at 8. Do that there, and we'll get our right. That's right. Might move the tail rotor back one. Alright, tail rotor's going back one because it's colliding with the rotor here. So we're going to move this back one. Helicopter is definitely the most finicky creation I've ever made. They do kind of suck sometimes, I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is. So here's what we're going to do with this. Go that, and then we're going to go like that. Did I just make... I mean, yeah. Pretty much just a block shorter. Let's do that. Let's just do that. Let's see how this behaves. Still kind of wobbly. Will it lift up? We don't really have lift. It's all about trial and error, right? Still don't really have lift here. It's all about trial and error. You want just enough weight that another way we can do this also is actually like this. So that'll limit the speed of the and the lift of the rotor blades. Something is definitely off balance. That might be a glitch. I'm not 100% sure, but that might be a glitch on that. I've never had it happen with any other helicopter doing the same exact thing. So it is definitely kind of weird. Definitely weird. So let's add in another OR gate here. Add into that guy and that guy. This guy we want to put to 10. We might have to put another one of those in there actually. This here we want to go. That. Get it somewhere. Delete this. Move that down there. Gonna put another. Can we add any more of these anywhere else? Pretty much all the way forward that can go. Man, sometimes you just want to do something and things just won't let you. You gotta move some things around. We're gonna move some things around just so we can get some more thrust out of this sucker. There. We're going to put a goes there. How does that look? That looks alright still. This guy forward there. Go there. Those are kind of stuck there, aren't they? That can stay right there like that. That can go there. That was weird. What the heck? Why is it copying? That was definitely very, very odd. Let's go there. That can go there. That's all that stuff there. Boom, boom. Alright, so that is more tail rotors for more lift. And actually has more weight too. So, turns on. Definitely want more pitch authority and more yaw authority for sure. So let's add those in real quick. More pitch. There we go. We're gonna get these two, and we'll turn these down to. Well, those are only 8. Let's turn those up to 10. Turn this one and this one down to 5. Alright, there we go there. We want more yaw. Yaw, we'll turn this one. We'll leave it at 10. See what happens. We're going to add weapons on this one. We're just flying helicopters. You can add weapons later if you want to add weapons. It's not that big a deal. And I don't want to make this video too long. Still have a little bit of the shakes, but not too bad. Not too bad. It's better. These all the way up already? They are all the way on. Can we add any more anywhere else? I don't think we have any more room. The other bad thing about this is that you run out of room really fast. Yeah. This has definitely been a treat. I'm trying to make this helicopter. It's not perfect, but it is the basics of what you need to make your own helicopter. There is a lot of fine-tuning. There is a lot of what are the words I'm looking for? Drawing a blank. The words I'm trying to find right now. Yeah, there's a lot of everything that goes into this. There is a lot. But this is a helicopter. Oh, shoot, we deleted those wings accidentally. Put those back on there. Does the thing it's supposed to do. I'm doing that now, though. That's weird. No one wants to be weird and do that. Tail strike. But anyways, that's the same. I'll bet you any money I know what's going on. I'll bet you any money I know what's going on. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay. I forgot to do something. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do this. I was getting a torque feedback from the tail rotor. Why didn't you guys tell me that? Why didn't you guys tell me that? This probably will solve all the problems. Not all of them. Most of them. Still a little bit of wobbles, but man, that is a lot better. Wobbling thing is a new thing. I've never actually seen that before in any of my other helicopters, so that's kind of new to me. Man, that makes a huge difference, doesn't it? It makes a huge difference. All right. So, lesson learned here, guys. Put this down to 8. Make sure you have all of your servos in to keep your helicopter engine from acting up. There's definitely some sort of weird weight balancing going on with the, yeah. Definitely some sort of weird weight balancing going on with the rotors, because, like I said, this has never happened to any of my other helicopters. I will prove it to you. We're going to save this, because I actually kind of like that. It's a nice looking helicopter. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it. So let's pull out the Iroquois. So here's the UH-1 Iroquois I have made. This one's pretty decent complex. It has opening doors, a whole bunch of seats, interior, and whatnot. This took a few hours to build. I think RB is the rotors. RB's are rotors. Wait, that one doesn't have a weird. I don't have a servo on that one. But yeah, see, I don't have the weird wobbling effect on this one. Everything works out pretty dang good. But like I said, this takes a while to make something like this. So there's a UH-1 Iroquois. Cobra. Everyone knows and loves. This is the first video I did. This one doesn't do the wobbly wobblies. This one stays perfectly stable. I don't know why. Don't know why. The Apache. Not even in the pilot seat on that one. It's in the pilot seat. Yeah, see, this one's stable too. Yeah, that's weird. It's a relatively new phenomenon for me to have build like this. It'd be super wobbly. Maybe it's not heavy enough? Then we'll lose lift. I don't know why this is wobbly and the other ones aren't. Trail makers, devs, if you see this or anyone sees this and knows why this is wobbly, maybe you can answer my question as to why this is wobbly, because it honestly shouldn't be. Yeah, let's try doing this. Maybe this is... I just noticed those do have a up and a down. Now they're all facing the same way. They're all facing the same way. Did that solve it? Man, if that solved it, that's going to be crazy. There you go. I was under the impression that rotor blades were equal. In other words, it doesn't matter which way you put them. Apparently I was wrong. It matters. So, yep. Make sure your rotor blades are on correctly. Make sure you have all your servos on right. That made a huge difference. Look at that. Alright, I think since we have successfully made a helicopter that has cyclic, collective, and everything else, I think we can end this video. You all enjoy some flying here real quick. And there you have it. Flies like an absolute dream. I like this little helicopter. Turned out pretty good once we figured out all the issues. Cute little single seater. And yeah, there you go. There's how to build a slightly more advanced helicopter and trail makers. You guys have a great day and keep trailing on. See you later.